So the second game I've actually been playing over the last week or so is Limbo. And I actually reviewed it. The review went up today in the morning. So this kind of section is more of a review than a first impressions. If you want to read the written review, go look it up on switchindiefigures.com. So yeah, a bit of past. I've never ever played Limbo. Like I know what it is. Like I know how kind of revolutionary it was when it first came out on Xbox Arcade. I have played Inside though, the successor to Limbo. Like it's not a sequel, but it's pretty much the same game set in a different setting. Like, you know, it's a 2D puzzle platformer in like a creepy world, industrial world. So overall, I really liked the game. I like the atmosphere, the creepy atmosphere, and the monochromatic art style. The black on white looks really awesome. Like that vision of the boy, his silhouette, and you know, like the spider leg coming out the side, is really kind of iconic. I think in video games, especially in indie games. So I was really looking forward to playing the game. The puzzles themselves, I thought they were really challenging, but they weren't hard. So what I mean by that was like they were difficult to do, but they weren't like you weren't hitting your head off the wall like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Why can't I work this out? A lot of them are like logic based and physics based. So you know, if you are looking at it, I felt like if you look at it long enough, you're gonna get the solution. You know, because it is like if you think about it, it should come to you. I'm not gonna lie. There were a few where I had to look up a YouTube a walkthrough because there were some ones where it just felt like there was nothing in the room, and I'm like, okay, I've got nothing to work with. How can I possibly solve this solution? And they were always like, when you found the answer, I was like, yeah, like obviously that was the answer. You just needed to think about it a little bit more. But yeah, they weren't hard. It wasn't like playing like through Super Meat Boy, you know, where you finish one level and you're like, oh my god, thank god that level's over. But now you're like, oh no, now I have to do another level. It was really like, okay, this one, yeah, I walk into the room, I see what I need to do, I do it, go to the next room, and then it might be like, oh, okay, so here's 2 boxes, and I know that I need to get onto a ledge, and it's a lot about trial and error, going backwards and forwards with yourself, you know, often dying a lot, trying to work out what you're supposed to do. But it was always fun, and they were always challenging enough, but never too hard. And I kind of say in the review, like, I think it shows how different people's brains work. You know, that like there's probably some puzzles where I got stuck on, where one of you guys could just look at it and be like, yeah, you do this. But then there was probably some puzzles that I breezed past where another person might be like, oh, what am I supposed to do here? So, I bet Playdead have like some data stored somewhere on where people get stuck on which levels, which would be really interesting to see. However, like I said, the game focuses a lot on like this dark atmosphere. Like, it's called Limbo, and it's very like artsy in the way that it has you ask the question, well, what is the story? Like, there isn't really a story here. You're a boy obviously searching for someone, and I said in the review, like, it's called Limbo, but I don't think you're like in the literal place of limbo, like between heaven and hell. I think it's more in the sense of like you're in limbo because you're searching for this girl and you don't know if she's good or not. And I think that's what the limbo is, and that's kind of what the thing is like you're rushing to get to her to find out if she's okay. But I feel like the atmosphere gets lost after the sequence with the spider. Like, if you don't know, there's, like I said, the scene of the spider legs is really, really, really iconic. And I actually thought that the spider chased you throughout the whole game. And spoilers, he doesn't. There's after about the first 30% of the game, you lose him basically, and I kind of felt like after that, like a lot of that tension went, because when the spider was there, you know, you could always just see like his hairy legs at the side of the screen chasing you, and you're over here doing a puzzle, and you're just thinking, God, okay, I need to be faster, I need to get here before the spider gets there. And, you know, there's like a lot of games where you think, yeah, even if the spider gets here, I'm still going to have plenty of time. But it was really like, once the spider was by you, you were dead. You were like so quick, and the deaths are so violent. But yeah, after you kind of get past him, I didn't really feel that like anxiousness anymore, or that panic or that pressure to play the game. It kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, I can look at the puzzles and I can take my time and I can try 3 or 4 times to do it and kill myself so many times. And it was kind of a little bit disappointing because what it ended up turning into was me absolutely like laughing out loud at how ridiculous the death animations are, because it's physics based. You know, if you throw your guy into a meat shredder, then he's gonna get shredded into like tiny pieces, and they're so violent and but look so funny, that a lot of the game I just ended up like thinking it was hilarious towards the end, which I don't think was what Playdead were going for. And yeah, I think like originally it came out in 2010, and I think you can kind of feel the age of the game. Like the character, the boy, he doesn't feel like a character. He feels like shapes put together as like almost like a crash test dummy. The way he moves, like his animation is very almost like marionette-y, and he feels like he's on strings a lot. And it's kind of shown, especially when you die, how his body kind of breaks apart into like, and it comes out as like polygons or triangles or whatever. He doesn't feel like a real character. He just feels like this like bare bones kind of test dummy almost. And as well, the age is kind of shown in how long it takes for you to respawn after a death. Like, it doesn't take forever, but it's long enough in a game where you're dying constantly that you get a bit like, oh, okay, really? Like, so if you jump in water, you die, and it's like, instead of it just resetting, it's like, okay, it shows you sinking to the bottom of wherever the water is, and then it resets, and you're like, okay, that was maybe like 15 seconds I didn't need to see. Like, I know I'm dead. I knew I was dead as soon as I did the jump. Whereas I think, in more modern games, maybe the reset's like instant, and it's like, okay, now I'm back. Okay, now I know what I need to do. I can just quickly jump over. So honestly, if you had $20 or £20 or €20 and you could only buy one 2D puzzle platformer, I would suggest that you buy Inside, because it's modern. In my opinion, the art style, even though it's very like abstract, I really like the art style. The puzzles I think were better too, and I just think it's a more modern game. But if you like me and you've already played Inside, and you're looking to play a bit of like indie history, because Limbo was like one of the very first blockbuster indie games on the Xbox Arcade, and I've never played it, so I was like, okay, yeah, it's on the Switch, I want to check it out. And then I do suggest it. I just, like I said, I just don't think it's a game you need to play right away. If you were going to play another game, if you were going to play a game like Limbo, you should play Inside.